Hey boys, I figured I'd share this one with you. Like I said in a previous video that I would share with you, I'm just going to continue sharing these videos with you so you boys are careful at the dealership. So here we go. Let's do this filter one. Guy comes up, says, hey, my truck's doing all sorts of stuff. Well, I said, hey, X, Y, and Z, we got to start here and do this. But have you changed your filters? Have you worked on them filters? Yep, intake filter, personally, I changed it within a month. And the fuel filters both were done. One by, actually I'm not going to say any names, but one was an authorized dealer and the other one was like it was a mom and pop shop. It was a regional shop. And, yeah, I'm like, well, I don't know about that. Are you sure they changed your filters? He says, yes. I'm like, okay, well, let me do this for you and then we'll go from there. We did what we wrenched on at the shop, got her done, truck started running better, and I said, on these bigger projects, on these never-ending goose chases, I usually like to test drive the trucks. I test drive it, I don't like the way it runs. It runs great, strong on low end, high end, it runs out of air, fuel. I'm like, it's simple. So I'm like, heck with this. I'm not going to get underneath, do fuel filters, but I'm just going to pull his intake filter. I pulled his intake filter. It's junk. There ain't no month, man. I don't know what this guy did. Maybe in a month he shaked it off or something. But dude, this thing was like oil greased. I just threw it away. I didn't even ask the guy if he's willing to change it or not. If he wasn't willing to change it, I'll just change it on my own dollar. You know, if the guy's really that cheap for 20 or 30 bucks, whatever that filter is worth. So I changed the intake filter, take it around the block. Truck runs much better. But there's still this fine line that I'm not liking. I'm picking up this little hiccup on high end, and what it's doing on high RPM, it's as if you're letting off half throttle, like rolling, like waving it. You know, like, where's my hand? Here's my hand. So this is full throttle. This is off, right? Let's just say this is the throttle. So if you floor it over 2,500, you're holding it floored. And the truck is doing as if you're doing this, you know, it's just waving power in and out. I'm not liking it. My buddy's like, dude, whatever, just let him go. I had a good buddy of mine in the truck. Dude, just let him go. It's just the way the stock. I'm like, I'm not liking it, but whatever. Let's let him go. And that's what we did. I told him to keep an eye on this truck. It's much better. Like, oh, yeah, dude, it pulls so much better. You know, end of the day, it gives me a phone call. Hey, I got to check engine light. So I have my guy run out there, pull the codes. He was pulling a gooseneck by that time, loaded gooseneck. When I was test driving, it was empty. So, yep, sure as heck, you know, he got the empty fuel rail, low pressure fuel rail, whatever. So it's either the pumps or the filters. So what do we start from? Obviously the filters. I'm like, did you or did you not change the filters? He's like, well, I told you they did. I'm like, both, for sure. They did, both. He's like, yeah. I'm like, if you want me to work on this, drop the filters. So my guy said, all right. So he pulled them to the shop. They dropped the filters, and guess what, boys? Voila. Problem's gone, and the thing hauls tail like a raped ape. I mean, it hauls tail. So, moral of the story. If you're going to let someone work on your equipment, and your life depends on it, okay? This guy does hot shotting for a living. Check him. Double check him. You know, if this means you take a nail and sign your name on that filter, on the fuel filter, that's what it means. If you could reach in and sign your name or do some kind of initials on the oil filter. I have a story of an oil filter. The guy, I'll share it another time. I'm trying to keep this short. You know, they say they'll charge you. They'll put it on paperwork. But did they really do it? I know Paul all of a sudden has a big trust issue. It's because I've ran into story after story after story into this nonsense. It just never ends, guys. It's not theirs. They don't care. They think if this thing throws a check engine light, you're always in town, you can just pull it up to their service. No, you might be middle of Montana where they ain't jack, meaning no service as far as, you know, service, fuel stations, and then there's no cell phone service as well. You know, there's a lot of places in America, if you're on the road, there's no phone service. And not only like gas station service, but also cell phone service. So, yeah, man, guys, be careful. Double check if you let people do your stuff. Best advice I could do, get under there and do it yourself. If you first advice, get under there and do it yourself. If you don't want to do that, which in a lot of cases is not the best option, just find a trusted source. Find a trusted dealership. Check them. You know, you trust people, but double check them. Check them 3-4 times. Make sure they go through everything as well, and then just forget it. This guy could have been left high and dry, middle of nowhere. just because of what? Trusted a dealership. So yeah, he has paperwork to prove it. Those fuel filters had under 5,000 miles. That intake filter had under 1,500 miles. Well, according to him. I don't know who's doing what, but definitely that wasn't the case. Changed intake, fuel filter, and that wave deal was gone. So anyways, as always, may the Lord bless you. May you all have a mighty fine day, and I'm off to having some fun here.